Dawson Rider with you.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Time for the next Power Rangers Beast Morphers International spoiler review. This was a pretty uneventful, fillery episode. Nothing of significance happened at all, so it's gonna be pretty boring. Just kidding, it was a huge episode. You know why? Ben and Betty weren't in it, and they didn't trample over a single nice moment. In all seriousness, I 100% did not expect the Dino team up to start. It was just Dino Charge in this one outside of the little weapon cameos. I mean, can weapons even cameo? And like the Triptoids were in it, but it was part one was just Dino Charge. We know they're gonna be in the rest of it, but I was not expecting this at all. That's been actually one of the coolest things about this back half of Beast Morphers is we've known about all this stuff like the Dino team up and Dr. K, but they've all come at times that at least I wasn't expecting it. Based on the episode descriptions, it seemed like tomorrow's episode, episode 13, was the one and done Dino team up episode, but out of nowhere, Dino Charge Rangers appeared this week and Keeper appeared. Super exciting. So let's talk about it. So one of the coolest things about this is ever since it came back, there's been a really surprising amount of continuity. And even though Chaku left, we're continuing the leftovers from his arc, quite literally with leftover ship stuff. And they're looking for Ryjack's ship, and they can't wait to get on it because somebody else is tracking it. So Zoe goes to get on it before the other Rangers can show up, and it done explodes. And when she clears up from the debris, or right before she clears up from the debris, I almost said Zach and Cody show up. Why would I say that? Blaze and Roxy show up, and they find Snide's sword. And they use that reanimizer that Ryjack's had to basically clone him. So that's pretty cool. That's also probably how Palpatine came back. But that was pretty cool, like a nice bit of continuity that I didn't even think about. I talked about last week how I hoped Ryjack would somehow have something to do with the Dino team up, and he did. Like, this storyline led right into it. That was a cool way to bring Snide back, and then they all escape. They're like, quick, hide. And for a second I thought they were gonna hide behind some trees. Hide, Snide. Get it? Because it rhymes. After she comes to, she then sees a weirdo creeper alien, and she decides to collar him when she recognizes the compliance collar. But it turns out it's Keeper, and the other Rangers are quite upset with her for doing that. Dude, the Beast Morphers Rangers are savage in these last few episodes. No questions asked. They like arrested both Gavin and Keeper like without any warning. They're like, well, he's guilty. So once they find out who he is, though, they safely put him on a truck, or so they think, and it's stolen by Dino team-up footage from Sentai, and we get the chase scene where the Vivics are in the truck and the Go-Busters are chasing them, and then that eventually leads to the Dino Charge Rangers showing up. The 4 actors that are coming back of the Core 6 flip in. I think that was one of the scenes we saw in a trailer, and they show up and help fight. Snide and Blaze and Roxy free Keeper and take him back to Evox, and then at Evox's base he makes him tell him the history of Dino Charge so we can learn more about it. And of course, because of that, now he wants them Energems too. But then back at the base, the Dino Charge Rangers and everyone are still on Shelby's case. Why did you call her Keeper? He's our friend. And she goes, you don't call him collared people. That's offensive. And they look at the chest of weapons that are there, and it's primarily Dino Charge weapons for the villains because they're going to be resurrecting them here in a few minutes. Spoiler alert. But there is also a couple others. Lord Zed's staff is there, as well as Goldar's sword, which we actually see in the wreckage a little bit earlier. Ravian picks up the staff of Zed, and he says, oh, this is Lord Zed's staff, the Emperor Evil. It's like, there's only one true Emperor. His name is Papa Palpatine. And you see in the background Steel's holding Goldar's sword, which could potentially be used to resurrect Neo Gryphosaur. We'll have to see. But those were the two only non-Dino Charge weapons I picked out. It's kind of like the evil version. Not like an evil version, just another shoe, like this one. The evil version of Nate's vault, except it's in a chest. It's low rent because it's evil. Evox calls up and he's like, look, we'll do a hostage exchange. Keeper for the Chesto weapons. They agree to it. We get the team up side by side morph, and they fight. And then unfortunately they split off as the Kyuger footage fights Snide, and then we have a Megazord fight with the Beast Morphers Rangers, which honestly, I don't think I've ever cared about a Megazord fight less. The Dino Charge Rangers are fighting, they go supercharge mode, and then when they realize that they're losing for the villains, back at the base, they resurrect Sledge because his gun was called out several times in the episode, and they resurrect him, and right when I knew they were going to do it, I'm like, I hope he says it's a bomb sometime in the next 2 episodes. And then as soon as he resurrects, he goes, it's a bomb! Brilliant. He says that he's going to need a team, so they call Dom and his crew. It turns into Furious 10. They resurrect all the Dino Charge villains, the main ones. They're fighting the Dino Charge Rangers. They almost win, but the Beast Morphers Rangers show up, and then they manage to free Keeper, who's like 100% being a creeper in the corner. What's funny is Keeper being there and not helping is the same thing he would do if he wasn't collared and under their control. And they're like, quick, let's get away while they're on the ground. I'm like, why don't you blow them up while they're on the ground? Then they won't come back to fight you again. I know, not the Rangerly thing to do, but Alpha 1 was wrong. You're a half measure. Sledge and everyone's apparently going to regroup with Evox, but the other Rangers go back to the base, and the Dino Charge Rangers are like, well, it was really nice meeting you, but we got back to work. We got work to do. Even though our entire season's worth of villains are here, we're going to go home and let you deal with it. You know, we spent 2 seasons doing that, and then we came back again during Ninja Steel. So this is your problem. We're going back. They actually use the device from Dimensions in Danger for the transporting dimensions, which was a really cool, nice continuity callback. Also, it's worth noting, I almost forgot to mention, during the Dino Charge fight, they do portal Shelby and Riley over. They did not get their actors back unless there was going to be some sort of surprise twist in the next episode, but as far as we know, they didn't get their actors back, so they're just the suits, so they portaled Shelby all the way from the Katie Keene dimension. It seemed like for a second Keeper was going to help, and then he dissipates. You know, Keeper, always helpful. So this was so unexpected. Again, the descriptions made it seem like next week was the one and done Dino team up episode. Everyone was already up in arms about it being one episode. And the descriptions are pretty generic, and you don't have any like part 1, part 2s or anything like that. So this was, like I said, I keep using the word unexpected, but I was blown away. Like, I checked in on the episode before I watched it. I'm like, holy crap, the Dino Charge Rangers are there. So that was really cool. And like I said at the beginning of the video, that's been really neat because we already know about all this stuff. It takes away a little bit of the surprise. So the fact that stuff is happening when we're not thinking was really cool. And I thought this was a very solid episode. My favorite thing about the episode was honestly the tight continuity between this last batch of episodes. Right through from the premiere with Evox separating and the vault, through the Chaku arc, it all led to this in a cool way. We set up the Dino Charge Rangers. We already set up that they know about other teams and stuff, and they even mentioned they knew about Keeper from Ranger History School. And so like that was already set up too, and I thought was really cool. I kind of wish we would have gotten more interactions between the two teams because I wanted to see the actors interact. Like honestly, that's what I'm more interested in than just seeing Sentai footage fight. I wanted to see them interact more. And I definitely thought it was weird that they left at the end of the episode because we know there's going to be a part 2. I wonder if it's possible. We'll know tomorrow, but if next episode is going to focus more on Jason and then the Dino Charge Rangers might just come in at the end, that's possible. But I was hoping for a little bit more of interaction, but I kind of like that we basically have a 2-parter. It just does seem weird that it closes off like this, so it's kind of like 2 different episodes, almost reminding me of the 2 different SPD Dino Thunder episodes within it, but still. That was just kind of strange to me that they went home to their dimension, both because we know there's another episode coming, and because it seems kind of, like, douchey to be like, oh well, all of our villains are here, bye. That's what they always say. Other Rangers always say like, well, we got other missions. I was just rewatching To the 10th Power, and the Space Rangers like, well, your Pink Ranger's dead, but we have other missions. So overall, this episode wasn't perfect. In itself, it felt a little bit rushed, but it was still nice that we're basically going to be getting a 2-parter and have set up the Dino Charge Rangers. I do kind of hope we get a little more focus on Jason in the next one, but I also hope we get a little bit more interaction between the cast, and who knows? I mean, I'm not saying that this is for sure, but given that this was unexpectedly the first part, there is a slight possibility that this could bleed over into a 3rd part. Maybe not, but I've been taken by surprise by this, so I'm going to leave the possibility open. But I really enjoyed this. I would give it an 8.5. Surprising, fun episode with some good continuity of the previous episodes. Really looking forward to tomorrow to seeing how this develops, seeing if it closes off or if the door is left open. But what did you guys think? Did you enjoy the unexpected first part of the Dino team up? Are you excited for the next one? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.